You know those silly comments we make just to get a laugh? The ones we think are harmless, that float through the air and disappear as if they never existed? Well, I made one of those, and it shattered everything I had. I said, laughing, "If I were single, I'd totally date your friend." That was it. A throwaway line, a smirk, and a sip of wine. But that night, his friend ended up helping him pack. The next morning, I woke up to an empty dresser, a silent apartment, and a quiet so heavy it felt like it was screaming louder than any argument ever could. I'm Chelsea. I'm 30, and I destroyed a relationship most people dream of, all because I thought I was being funny. Michael and I had been together for 4 years. He was everything you'd want in a partner, thoughtful, dependable, the kind of guy who'd show up with soup when I was sick and rub my back even if he had a headache. He wasn't flashy, didn't pull grand romantic gestures, but he was real. Safe. Maybe too safe. Because, somewhere along the way, I started to crave chaos again. Not infidelity, not betrayal, just the kind of excitement you don't realize you miss until it's too late. Ryan, Michael's best friend, was the complete opposite of him. Loud, confident, the life of every party. He was good-looking, sure, but it was the way he knew it that made him dangerous. I never flirted with him, not really. Just harmless banter, playful sarcasm, enough to make me feel seen. That night, we had friends over, drinks, music, games. Ryan was doing his usual thing, laughing, teasing me, acting like he owned the room. Michael had gone to the kitchen to grab more drinks when Ryan said something like, "Too bad you're taken." I laughed, then said it, the dumbest thing I could have said. "If I were single, I'd totally date you." The room went quiet for just a moment, then the laughter returned, and the subject changed. But when I glanced at Michael standing by the kitchen door, he wasn't laughing. No smile, just this blank stare, like he'd heard everything he needed to hear. We didn't argue that night. He didn't say a word. He kissed my forehead before bed, but there was a coldness in it. The next afternoon, after brunch with a friend, I came home to see boxes stacked neatly. His side of the closet was empty. Ryan was in the living room, helping Michael carry out the last of his things. Neither of them looked at me. Ryan didn't smirk or wink, just walked past with his head down. And Michael, he finally looked at me and said, "I hope you meant it, because he's your problem now." Then he was gone. I stood there, trying to make sense of what just happened. It felt like a dream. He didn't even give me a chance to apologize. No yelling, no slamming doors. He just walked out like it was already over, even before my words left my mouth. I tried calling, texting, even showed up at his office once, but it was like I wasn't even on his radar anymore. He checked out emotionally and mentally, maybe long before that night. Maybe he'd been quietly tallying up all the little jokes, all the backhanded comments, all the times I made him feel like the safe choice instead of the one I truly desired. I found out later from a mutual friend that Michael had told Ryan not to speak to me again, and Ryan agreed. Apparently, Ryan said, "If she said that in front of everyone, what's she saying when you're not around?" That one hit hard, because I thought I was just being clever. I didn't mean it. Not really. But maybe there was a part of me, some selfish part, that liked knowing I had options, that feeling of power, even if it was fleeting. And in return, I lost the one person who ever made me feel completely safe. The weeks that followed are a blur. Friends distanced themselves. My apartment felt too big, too quiet. I tried dating again, but every guy felt like background noise. None of them brought me soup. None of them cared how I liked my tea. None of them looked at me the way Michael used to, like I was home. One night, I ran into Ryan at a bar. At first, he avoided eye contact, but I walked up to him anyway. "Can I ask you something?" I said. He nodded, hesitant. "Did you ever feel the same way, or was I just imagining it?" He paused, then replied, "Even if I did, what kind of guy would I be if I went after my best friend's girlfriend?" He finished his drink and walked away. That's when I realized it was never about Ryan. It was about me. About not knowing how to appreciate stability without sabotaging it. About confusing peace with boredom. About not understanding that someone showing up for you every day is rare and worth protecting. I made a joke, but I broke something real. And now I have to live with that silence every single day.